In this video, I'm going to show you how I like to cook up wings on the kettle barbecue that kind of mimic the, in my opinion, superior deep fried wing. I'm going to be using a little tool in my Weber kettle that some of you may be familiar with that's going to contribute to super tender, juicy and crispy wings. With all the little steps and stages done right, they are guaranteed to be delicious. So we're obviously going to start off with some good quality chicken wings, and honestly, more often than not when I'm doing wings, I'm getting them from the supermarket. The butcher's wings around here generally aren't that great, and for me, the best quality chicken wings that you can get here in the UK, at least where I'm from, is the Marks and Spencer's ones. They're generally big, they taste very good, and I personally think the chicken from Marks and Spencer's is all round really good quality. So I'm just going to take them and break them down into the drum and flat. Look at that, that is a really big meaty wing. And also, please let me know in the comments whether you prefer the flat or the drum. I prefer the flat. I think I just find the meat a little bit more tender. Then to prepare these, I'm gonna put them in a bowl. Firstly, season them with salt. This is gonna do two things. It's gonna season them from a flavor perspective, and obviously you could use your favorite chicken wing rub. Providing it's got salt in it, it's gonna draw the moisture out and then be reabsorbed back into the wing, flavoring it so it's salty all the way through, right to the bone. It's also gonna dry the wing surface out a little bit, and that's gonna give us crispier wings when we come to cook them. Again, I'm just going salt, but really any rub will work. Then I'm gonna dust on some baking powder. This is gonna help to dry out the surface of the wings even further. Again, contributing to an even crispier surface. Then the next pretty important stage, got a tray with a wire rack. Get these wings on. The wire rack is going to make sure that we've got airflow all the way around. These wings are not going to be sitting in any of the juices that get drawn out by the salt. So these are going to go into the fridge for, honestly, you could do them for 2 days if you wanted to. That's really going to dry them out. If you could get a fan on them in the fridge, even better. But for me, these are just going to go into the fridge for maybe 6 or 7 hours. I'd have liked to have done it overnight, but just didn't get a chance. Anyway, into the fridge to dry brine and to dry out for the next 6-7 hours. So while those sit in the fridge, I'm gonna make up the only sauce that should be served with buffalo wings, and that is blue cheese dip. I'm making it nice and early because the longer this sits, the better. Anyway, you can start off with a whole block of blue cheese, but here in the UK at least, we can get this St. Agur blue cheese cream. It's pretty much already a perfect dip for carrots, celery, that kind of stuff. It's nice and creamy, and it's a good place to start for this kind of sauce. Only problem is it doesn't have big chunks of blue cheese in it. So if you do like your blue cheese dip chunky, add some freshly crumbled cheese to it. Then some buttermilk, some mayonnaise, sour cream, some fresh lemon juice, some white vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce, and just a little spice mix of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Whisk. Give that a taste, adjust if I need to. That is the perfect blue cheese dip for buffalo wings. This will go into the fridge until I need it. So these wings are looking nice and dry. They've been in for a good few hours. They would look drier if I left them overnight or maybe even for a couple of days, but these should be dry enough to get them nice and crispy on the kettle, which I'm gonna fire up now with my fuel dome or vortex, which, if you didn't know, is this thing in here. Already got it in there ready. Basically this cone-shaped thing that you fill with charcoal, and it almost gives the effect of a chimney starter. It's going to produce a huge amount of heat in here, fire it upwards. That's going to hit the lid of the kettle, curl round and aggressively cook these wings. But yeah, it's going to produce a very hot environment in here with hopefully a lot of air movement. So we'll get some charcoal in, and I'm going to have to hand place this in. This big K charcoal is absolutely huge. So big, in fact, I can't pour it. Pieces like this, which is great for more low and slow situations. And I'm sure this is nothing new to many of you that watch this, but it might be new to a few people, and I really want wings. So this is ripping hot, but still enough life in it to cook all of these. Gonna go on, lid on, vents fully open at the top, fully open at the bottom, and I'm gonna come and rotate this like this every 15 minutes. So while the wings are cooking away nice and hot, I'm gonna make up a pretty classic buffalo sauce. But rather than using Frank's, I'm gonna be using Crystal hot sauce, which is probably my second favorite hot sauce after Texas Pete's. I've never actually made a buffalo sauce with Crystal, but I've got a couple of bottles of it, so I'm gonna give it a go. Using my base buffalo sauce recipe, which will be down below, obviously. Anyway, Crystal hot sauce, white vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and then some salt, some garlic, some onion powder, some black pepper, and a little bit of cayenne. Stir that round, and then I'm gonna get that onto the heat. And you'll notice that I haven't added the butter yet. That is for a specific reason. A lot of the time, these recipes will call to add the butter with the sauce and put it onto the heat, but with that method, you run the risk of splitting the oils out and getting an oily sauce. Bring the sauce up to a high heat, take it off the heat, and melt the butter in nice and slowly. This process basically slowly melts the exterior of the butter inwards, breaking all those fats into tiny little droplets that will emulsify into the sauce a lot better. Should give you a much more glossy and emulsified sauce. Definitely not essential, it's just the way I like to do it, probably 50% of the time. The rest of the time, I'll just chuck it all in a pan and warm it up. And then you've got a really nice, light orange, well emulsified buffalo sauce. Taste and adjust for seasoning. It's very good. That'll keep warm for later. An hour and 15 minutes or so later, these are looking very brown, and they might not feel too crispy right now when you touch them. These should be over 190, up to 200. Anyway, we're gonna take these off, get them into a bowl, take them inside and let them rest. And letting these rest for a little bit is pretty key. As they cool down, the skins will kind of dry out a little bit and they will firm up and they'll almost have that crispy, bubbly texture that you get with fried wings. Ideally, I'd have these on a wire rack, but I don't have one clean. But yeah, main point is not to sauce them too soon. Once they have dried for a little bit, I'm gonna pour over my buffalo sauce. Not too much, don't want to completely drench them. Toss them around. Oh, it smells so buttery. And then get these onto a plate. It smells so good. And sometimes I like it as a dip, but today I know I want that blue cheese in every bite. So I'll go on the blue cheese. Got a glove up for this. Still kind of crunchy. They could be crunchier. Could have left them for an extra day or so, but definitely not soggy in any way. Juicy on the inside, completely fall off the bone. Buffalo and blue cheese is the best. You know what? Half the point of me making them like this is that I still don't think you could beat a fried wing, but I hate frying in the house. It stinks, got to do something with the oil. So this is a really good way to mimic that rather than doing something that's completely different in a typical grilled wing, a barbecue wing. That drizzle wasn't enough. Yeah, that is a solid buffalo wing without whipping out a fryer. Really good cook on it, nice crispy exterior from using that fuel dome, a great buffalo wing sauce and a blue cheese dip or drizzle that I could eat daily for the next week. Obviously there are stuff that you can do different. You could put a chunk of wood over the top of that fuel dome, create a little bit of extra smoke. For me, I'm not a huge fan of smoked chicken, so I opted not to do that. You also don't just need to salt it like I did. Use your favorite chicken rub, and you could also chuck those wings directly over the top of the fuel dome for a couple of seconds to really crisp them up and give them a bit of charcoal grilled flavor. This is just a really basic approach to vortex or fuel dome cooked wings. Yeah, very, very good. And yeah, let me know if you do your fuel dome wings any different. I'd love to hear how you do it. If you've never done it before, I suggest picking one of these up. You can buy them from Pro Smoke Barbecue in Banbury here in the UK, online or at their store. They're only 25 quid and they're solid. I've had mine for 6 years or so. It's been outside, pretty much uncovered, just sat under my barbecue for years. Yeah, definitely worth investing in one of those. So thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. It really helps me out. And a massive thank you to my channel members for helping me out every single month. I appreciate you a lot. I actually had a catch up with one of my channel members earlier this week. They're in a membership tier where it unlocks a monthly catch up with me. So I hope to be able to speak to more of you over the next months and years. So yeah, big thank you to you guys. I should have probably saved this recipe for closer to football season beginning, but I really wanted some wings. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week for another video.